Is it like
physical pain?
Yes.
If there is any filmmaker who can link the horror genre with philosophical, scientific, and aesthetic concepts in the most creative way possible, it is David Cronenberg. Cronenberg has a prolific filmography, with a cursory glance at the films he has made and a recollection of images from his works. What is the first thing that comes to mind? Eroticism? Horror? Metamorphosis? Creation? Self-destruction? Existentialism? Biological technology? The future as apocalypse? Rebellion? Anti-capitalist? Individualism? Duality?
I've been hiding from you. Hiding? What are you talking about?
Materiality and corporeality?
Nicky, don't.
The transcendental? Intensity? David Cronenberg is like a scientist, one who deftly blends science with artifice, manipulates the system of creation with the absurd aspects of his stories, and his characters should be thought of less as patients and more as unbridled experimenters. For indeed, it is not so much that insane people enter a sane space and transform it, but rather that the space, place, and indeed the era, like postmodernism, the future, the technological age, transforms the characters mentally and physically.
You live here with Seagrave?
No, I live in my car. This is my workshop.
Cronenberg's characters are not so much passive patients as they are rebels obsessed with intensity, who, through discovering themselves and analyzing their situations, strive to elevate their humanity and their self-awareness of unconscious pleasure to a new level, when the body becomes the only reality. Suffering becomes the only sign of pleasure. Sex becomes an expression. Science becomes a guide, and the real world becomes a world of observation, as if it were an exhibit in a gallery. Recall the moment in Crimes of the Future when people with their cameras and feeling horny watch surgery sex. Cronenberg cinema is a place where contentious labels like art cinema and genre cinema are marginalized because one can never pin a label on his work. Cronenberg cinema has had varied and diverse reactions to genre. Sometimes he has innovated within the genre, creating cinematic currents like Shivers, whose ideas we later see in Ridley Scott's Alien. George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and even decades later in a fully realized form in David Robert Mitchell's It Follows. Or a film like The Dead Zone, an adaptation of Stephen King that earned the author's praise, an adaptation that executes all the rules of horror genre shot by shot and is one of the standard horror works by the 80s. Other times, like in Videodrome, it's like as Cronenberg pits all the subgenres of horror against each other to create a work that is simultaneously unbridled and systematic, as logical as it's illogical, employing science as much as it's subversive with narrative aspects. Cronenberg, like his dual character, operates with duality.
So you've read the diary. How can you keep doing what you're doing?
And only through this collision of these two expressions is something called the Cronenbergian world shapes. Cronenberg's apocalyptic and futuristic world has always seemed like a kind of return to the past. Tools and things that, rather than belonging to the future, are old and antiquated tools in humanity that seem to become the foundation again. In the apocalyptic world of Naked Lunch, the most futuristic device is an old typewriter that through an absurd process turns into a talking insect. Or in Crimes of the Future, instead of mobile phones, laptops, and technological machines, we have a return to the scalpel, shaped by pre-modernist medical science. So the future refers to the past. David Cronenberg doesn't want to intimidate us. He wants to lead us to the world he wants to explore. A world of sexuality, obsession, creativity. A world to follow conspiracies, to follow creating process, to follow the body, because the body is the only reality.